Grand Rising. Oh, I only just got up. at, well, they say it's 20 to 9 at night, but makes you wonder, makes you think, what is today? Well, it is 2 days, because if you look in the Bible about the old creation story, it's God did this and that, it's quite busy, and then there's the evening and the night and blah, 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 in the morning, and that was the first day. So exactly when does the day start? Don't even tell us the truth about that, really, do they? That's why it's 2 days, not one. Well, first coffee, because we're now in the era of BC, before coffee. While I compose myself. Well, let's have some fun, shall we? It's time for a bit of mind fucking. Yeah, I did say that, mind fucking, because people can say, oh, you're rude. Well, what is rude? A rude doer. I'm a doer. So let's pick your brains a bit. Let me plant a seed, a thought. Have you cracked it yet? You know? Let it nest in there a bit, and up to you what you do with it. You can, maybe it gives birth to an idea. Because it's all in thought, but it's from thoughts and speaking from the heart as well. But Jack is out the box. Ooh, no, not that one. Because he's been kept in, but now he's ascended. And surprise, he's here. I was just, my mind's just like it normally does. Have a sleep, and then you come to, eyes open. And where did we go? I can't even remember now. I've lots of thoughts, and then I thought, yeah, I can tell you a few things, and I can put a different spin on it, see it from a different angle. So going to court would be fun, wouldn't it? It's going as quick as it's coming. So this is really it's coming in waves. But we want to be assured. We want our feet on solid ground. We want to be grounded, don't we? Really. Otherwise, we're just going to drown in a sea of lies. Same as when you go in a court. There's the judge. It's ironic, really, that they get you to swear on the Bible. So I'd ask the question: by which authority are you operating under? Because you're not supposed to sit in judgment, and that looks like a wolf in sheep's clothing with this wig. And then you've got the other two using you as a ball between the prosecution and defence, the racket going on in court. Well, they're not pulling the wool over my eyes, because I'm a being. I'm not a citizen on a ship. I'm certainly not going in the dock. Well, it's not on my itinerary. It's my itinerary, because I know the secret of Aries. Anyway, I know the one with the power in the courts, who is going to write all this down and commit it to paper. Very good, some of them. They can keep up, they can do shorthand, but it's cursive script. I write my own scripts, you know, and I want to take part in their play. The world is a stage. Look, this one is self-taught. I saw Thunderbirds and Joe 90 and was it Lady Penelope and Parker and the car. And the acting was always very wooden, and you could see the strings quite clearly. It's no different now. I've never become an adult. And the political stage, where you have acts of parliament, I'm not playing in that performance. It's the same old wretched performance anyway, set sometimes in a theatre of war. Sometimes in the tapestry of life as well. but is it a rich tapestry? I mean, I'm rich. I'm filthy rich, especially when I go out in that garden and I get my hands in the soil. I am quite literally filthy rich then. But should I wash away the dirt? Do I even call it dirt when it is Mother Earth that is providing things for me and the living beings? So I'm still planting seeds. See, we live in a world of illusions, and if we live in a world of illusions, then what we want is solutions. So what about sowing some seeds, some solutions? That's the whole point of this. I'm laying the cards on the table. That is the intent of this. Then afterwards, if you liked what I said, or if I have blown your mind, perhaps we can have a cigarette together afterwards. If not, then come back. There's always more. But I am only limited by the technology. Is that terrible, isn't it? I'm limited by the technology of the memory of this phone as to how much I can record in one go. But there again, it's food for thought, so we do several little courses. Little and often is far better than one great big digest, because you'll get indigestion then, and it makes it hard on yourself, whether it be up here, down in the stomach, or in the heart. I mean, have you had a gutful? Because I've had a gutful of this illusory world. Now I was thinking, I went out with a very good friend. I phoned her up and said, do you want to meet up, do something? She said, well, I can spare a couple of hours. So that was wonderful. And we went for a walk, and we went out to a little village. Now, will it be on the truth-seeking side or the spiritual awakening side, or a mixture of the two? There's often talk of communities and getting together. Well, brilliant idea, and it would be wonderful. But the practicalities of it, I mean, you think about homeless people. They're not out there in the countryside foraging and fending for themselves. They're in the towns where the greatest collection of, well, I use the term very loosely, people, the walking dead are going about, who can't even spare them 50 pence or 50 cents or whatever it happens to be, or they just walk by and totally ignore them. Or if they're really unlucky, they get fined for being homeless. Well, they haven't got any money in the first place, so that's just rather stupid, really. And it's, what happened to, or how did they get there in the first place? Where's the compassion gone, for a start? So they're still stuck within the system. We're still not free, even at that level. I mean, it's quite an eye-opener going out today, and I wouldn't have gone out if I'd have been on my own. And I came back with 5 plants as well, which is part of what I'm going to suggest here. Now, what is your community? Are you limiting yourself to a spiritual community, to a truth-seeking community? What about, because we've all got different skills, different gifts, different things we can do. What about all those people out there who've got the stalls with the honesty boxes? It's worth going out for a drive in the countryside. Yes, you do get a few people in the towns who might have something in their front garden as well. And they may have their surplus produce from their garden. Well, look at what you're going to get there for a start. Invariably, you're going to get something that has been grown with love. It's more than likely not to be sprayed in pesticides, because this is what you have to watch with the farm shops. The walk we went on today, it's a case of, oh, look at, what's that sprayed on the leaves of these potatoes? Because it glistens and it looks almost like a sugary solution, and you can guarantee it's going to be some sort of pesticide. And there it was, there was the hose pipe going to the spray thing, spraying these crops, and it's like, I don't think I want those potatoes, because I don't know what they've been sprayed with. So farm shops, I would say, be very careful with. You might think you're doing yourself a favour, but you might be just cutting out the supermarket and just going to the farmer. You want to know, are they an organic farmer? And the concept of what a farmer is very different here from, say, in France, which is more like what we would call an allotment. They're smaller and with a much smaller area. I mean, you should only farm as much as you can manage, or you start going down the route, the bigger the farm gets, you've now got to employ other people. You now have a responsibility for the wages for those other people. You're stuck in the system, you're being dictated to by the European Union on what you can and can't grow, or you might have got even further ensnared and now you're supplying to one single supermarket chain who is going to dictate what you're going to grow, what time they're going to come and collect it. And you've also probably had to spend $1 billion on remodelling your farm to suit them, and then they renegotiate, or they don't negotiate, they tell you that they're not paying you that much for that produce anymore, they're only going to give you that much, and they've got you over a barrel. So yeah, look for the little independent people, the people that do their own jams, marmalades, honey, relishes. Some of them would like the jars and things back as well. So next time you're going out there, take the jars back, keep the cycle going. This is the black economy. You're not paying tax on it. You're not getting extra packaging you don't want. I've even said, when you're in like local communities, I've said this to people before, well, why not go and get things for other people and then say, oh, just give us a couple of quid towards the fuel, and come to some sort of arrangement. You can still use the money. See, we can look at what we've got rather than trying to do things in a way we can't quite yet do. We're not in communities. Well, do you not create the world around you anyway and do things from that point? So that's always the starting point, is from yourself. So the onus is on you to go out there. Now, people say, I could say things that are rude. Well, no, they're just honest. It's how you react to them. If I say you're shit because you're eating shit, well, I'm just being honest because it's from a place of love, and I'm trying to get you to see that the reason that you're ill or you're overweight is because of what you're putting into your body. I mean, how often have you come across big fat guys in the 40s and 50s, you know the type, hello darling, looking at the 20-year-old when they look pregnant, and you can smell the beer coming out the pores of their skin because you are what you eat. You're better off as much as possible with fresh fruit, and the onus is on you to check the sourcing of this stuff as much as you can, and hopefully it won't be genetically modified, but see with your mind's eye on a lot of these things. Listen to your gut feeling. If you think that fruit or vegetable doesn't seem right, well, don't buy it. You can also look at it as well and see by the colour and the texture, as well as the taste, the smell of it. You've got 5 senses to use, so use them, you know. It's all there for a reason. One thing I will say as well, I don't want credit. So if you want to quote, if you think anything I say is worth hearing, then there's no need to acknowledge that by crediting me, because I don't want credit, because then I'm in debt. I will give anybody due respect, because that is all I owe. I don't owe the world anything apart from what I owe myself, and that applies to all of you. That's the only debt you ever have. You owe it to yourself to find out things for yourself. Every time. You, by all means, listen to other people, then make your mind up from the information you're given. Blah. See, I'm not awake yet. I need more coffee. Mind blown yet? So, yeah. I'm a living being. I'm not a purse on. I don't carry a purse for somebody else to come and take the money out of it, the moon eye, and steal it. The purse is off. And I'm not a citizen on a ship. I'm a living being. Happens to be in the body of a man. But I'm also a fool. I'm also thick-skinned, because the other day I said something that was taken the wrong way, and then I got a load of abuse at me. But so I'm going to apologise. Hopefully that person will see this video. I'm not going to name and shame, because that's not fair. Because I don't want to make them feel bad. I don't want. I've got. You have to think about the words you use and the effect it's going to have as well. So I'm not going to mention the person's name or even what they said, but I'm not going to take it personally, and I apologise to you for what I said. I didn't explain myself very well, is probably the best way. So I offer that out there because I'm not going to get offended by what you said. I'm not going to take it to heart. I'm not going to allow that to get under my skin and become the focus, because there is so much of these online debates as well as in 3D where people lose sight of what they're actually talking about in the first place, and it comes down to having the last word and being right. Well, I would rather present, I was nearly said demonstrate, but we don't want to demonstrate. We want to present, because we're a presence in the present. So I want to present myself as a gift. So I'm going to present actions and words that I hope will give you more of an understanding, because this is not me. You can't see me. I can't see me. This is just the outer shell. I can reveal myself in words and things, or if you look with your mind's eye and you hear with your inner ears and you hear the dispelling of words, then you stand a far better chance to see the real me, because the fool is the one that sees the king riding on the horse and sees the naked truth. Same with all these judges in courts, in docks. I mean, there's plenty of stages out there we can all perform on, and why not? But why not be multi-skilled? Why not be your own script writer? Be your own producer, be your own director, take the starring role, paint your own back scenes as well. Create the world that you want around you. It's a far better way of doing it. And then we can look to leading by example by doing this community, these little communities, whether they agree with you on 9/11 or whether the human is more than flesh and blood is totally irrelevant. The devil is always in the detail, but we can still implement a different way of doing things, a little piece at a time. We're not overthrowing a government in one day. It's a ginormous system, and they're going to fight back and do everything they can to try and stop this. But same with the doctor. You owe it to yourself to look into these things that are being recommended to you, because I can assure you that the doctor cannot tell you where in your body that your soul is, and never will be able to do. He doesn't deal with that, with the spiritual side of you. He deals with the physical. Or you can go and see a consultant. Well, I'm not going to be conned. I'm not going to be salted. You won't like the flavour of me, and I'm not an ant. Well, I am an ant. And just like in Bug's life, I know it, and you know it as well. As whoever he was said. I can't even remember the character name, but again, devil's in the detail. See the overall picture to all these things. And let's look at what we are. Let's think in terms of chromosomes. Whether it be a man or a woman, you've been crossed. Well and truly. If you're a woman, you've been doubly crossed. If you're a man, you need to start being a man and asking why. Because it's up to the man to make the first move, is it not? So this applies to in the mind about the truth. What is the truth? Let's look at that. You are right in the middle of truth. It's Tara. So was it good? T and R, Tara. So was it goodbye to? Goodbye to you, because you've not put TH, which is the thought, the thoth. You've not thought about it. That's how you find the truth. Where's utopia? It's you on top of the AI. It's what the film Terminator was all about. Because do you even ask, what is to be terminated? Humanity? Life? Or are we going to terminate, are we going to pull the plug on the AI that is controlling everything? I know which one I'd rather have, because we all have a power of choice. So which way do you choose to go on that one? I am saying pick a side on that one, and then commit yourself to going down that path, because it will lead to more choices how you do things. Anyway, it's like a tree. It branches out in every direction. You've got a tree of life within inside you. It's your nervous system. You've got a tree of knowledge within yourself. Why do you think broccoli and cauliflower looks like a brain with brain stem cells and things? It's because that is your tree of knowledge. It's in your cerebrum, your Sarah Abraham, in your heavens. It's the space between your ears, with your temples are. There's your mind's eye. Like the song, Hurry on Sundown, see what tomorrow brings. Look into your mind's eye, see what you can see. I think that's a brilliant idea. I'm all for that. I think we should all do it. But don't put any particular person on a pedestal, because if you do that and then everybody is looking to one person, you make them a target by the opposition. And then if you're without that, then what's going to happen is it all going to fall apart, and then you'll be beaten back down again because you've lost your leader. What we want is a Spartacus effect, and we need to spark the I see us with a spark. Do you see what I'm saying here? Do you see? Do you hear? Or do you hear and do you see? It's all metaphorical, allegorical, as well as physical. It's never one thing, it's always three in one. Always look for the third player in everything, because it's never just black and white, there's 50 shades of grey. So it's important to look, it's important to look always in all ways. Look at everything. Look at the effects of things we may say on other people. There's ways of saying things, is another saying. People will say hello. Well, are they saying hell? Oh. Good night. Well, why would you wish somebody a good night, in the sense of once it gets to midnight on this time scale, you're now in mourning, and then you have a wake. This is why I say grand rising or greetings. And I'll end without even thinking about it, because I never know really where these videos are going to end. I say something on the lines of, well, that's it for me now. Plenty there to think about, or something on those lines. And talking of which, yes, we've reached 22 minutes, so I really am going to end it there and have another coffee. So I wish you all well on your paths, and there will be more. There was a lot more when I woke up, which is gone as quick as it comes into the mind, and I play with words, mess them around. I mean, in the courts, they operate under Black's law, the legalese dictionary, which says the words are lawful, illegal, backwards and forwards, and they're anagrams as well. So we have to really listen, otherwise we will list, our vessel will list, and then we're drowned in a sea of lies. And I want to assure you onto solid ground, help your vessel out, but I want you to remain captain of your own vessel as well. So thank you very much.